In this lesson, we are going to be talking about fronts, and fronts are boundaries between air masses of different temperatures. Okay, and so we're going to talk about 4 different types of fronts. The first one that we're going to talk about is a cold front. And a cold front is when cold air is replacing warm air at the surface. Okay, so it's when cold air is replacing warm air at the surface. And so a couple of things that we see when this is happening is, first of all, this air mass is moving very quickly. Our cold air mass is coming in very quickly. So it moves quickly. Okay, as a result of this, we are going to see violent weather, most likely strong thunderstorms, at the head of our cold front. So we're going to see violent weather and strong Okay, so at the front of our cold front, we're going to see a strong thunderstorm. So that's our cold front, cold air mass moving very quickly. The second type of front we have is a warm front, and a warm front moves slower than a cold front. Okay, so our warm air is not moving as quickly, and we're going to have less violent weather, more likely just to have gentle rain. Okay, so those are our warm fronts. The third front that we have is something called a stationary front. And when we have a stationary front, we have a front that isn't moving or it barely moves. So our front is barely moving. And so we're going to have a variety of weather at this front, but we're usually going to have clouds and kind of drawn out or prolonged precipitation. So okay, so yeah, stationary front, barely moving. And we'll have a variety. We'll have clouds, and we'll have prolonged rain or precipitation. The fourth one we're going to talk about is something called an occluded front. So when we have an occluded front, our cold front is catching up with a warm front and overtakes it. So when it overtakes it, we end up having our warm front kind of getting wedged away from the ground and being lifted away from the ground. So occluded, O-C-C-L-U-D-E-D, so it's a cold mass overtaking a warm mass. Okay, and so what we would expect of this type of front is going to be rain. Okay, And so those are our 4 types of fronts based on how our cold weather and our warm weather is interacting with one another.